So there's a lot of teams in real sticky situations, and right now we're going to talk about the Mavs because they could be forced to forfeit NBA games amid injuries and salary cap rules. So according to NBA rules, the team must list a minimum of 12 active players for each game with no fewer than 8 players sitting on the bench in a uniform. Dallas is down to 8 healthy players, so the Sixers and the Mavs have the largest injury reports in the NBA as a whole. So Mace, what's your opinion specifically on the Mavs for the trajectory of their season and basically just all these injuries? Because, yeah, we're talking about this team has injuries, this team does, but they clearly have a problem that's bigger than just that.
No, I actually think this is a wonderful time for the Dallas Mavericks because they got a few guards that was sitting behind Luka and Kyrie that never was getting in the game that could actually play. And I think this is the opportunity for them to prove that. They have, I think, one of the guards that came probably fresh out of high school or at least 1 year in college that was supposed to be one of those guys. And, shout out to him and his family. I think his last name is Smart or something like that. And he was balling. He was balling, before he got to the Mavs. So this is a perfect opportunity. You don't wish that your teammate get hurt, but this is definitely one of those opportunities where you get to showcase what you can do and maybe move to another team.
This is preposterous. It's actually fucking preposterous. One more time, won't sit still today, man. Fucking 6,000 Tyler ties be jumping, man. These shits got a life of their own. They start costing more than 5,000 for the tie murder. The Mavericks forfeiting games. I've been playing basketball a long time when I played basketball. I didn't play basketball a long time. I've been watching basketball for a long time. I've never, and I could be wrong, I'm just saying me with my eyes, I've never seen an NBA game be forfeited.
Forfeit, yeah.
Never. I've been to games where we only have 4. We waiting for the fifth nigga when the clock running down. Murder talking about he hit the bus stop, run, hurry up for the nigga forfeit the game, etc. Dallas Mavericks, if they want to forfeit games, I think this is done purposely for them to forfeit games. I understand that Kyrie's hurt, Anthony Davis hurt, Lively's been hurt, Gafford's been hurt. I understand that 100%. But it's nowhere in the world that y'all can't pull people up from y'all G League team to fill in for the spots that people are not hurt. I think that this trade didn't go as well as they want, at least not this soon, because especially with Kyrie being hurt, Anthony Davis coming back is not going to mean as much with Kyrie not being there. Kyrie has a season-ending injury. So I don't think that Dallas wants to forfeit games, but I don't think that they'll be mad and be like, oh, we don't have enough players or we don't got enough this. Call up some niggas from the G League. Yeah. I got a whole G League team for situations exactly like this. A whole G League team. Now, I don't know how many two-way players they have on Dallas, but they have to have at least 2 or 3 two-way players. When I say two-way players, that's people who sign contracts. So you're down with Dallas and you're down with their G League team. Every team has a few of those players where...
Sorry, not to cut you off. So basically regarding that, to answer your question, so Brandon Williams and Kessler Edwards are the 2 G League players, but they've almost exhausted how many games they can play in because they can only play up to 50 games with their NBA team. So Edwards had played for 44 total, so he has about 3-4 more games, and then Williams has
only about 6 more. If he has 44 total, so that means he has 6 games of 50, right? And what's the other person?
He only had, so one has 3 more games and one has 6 more. So one played 47, one played 44.
It's only motherfucking 12 games left, Stat. It's 12 games left. What is it with 33 and 36 is 69, right?
Well, so 47 total. So even though he sat for them, you can only be in 50 games total.
Yeah, you don't really have to get in the game. They could put us on the team.
Yeah, and Murder, what I'm saying is this, right?
Absolutely. Sell tickets.
We're going to sell tickets. I totally agree with that. But what I'm saying is this. I'm looking at here just doing some simple math. It's 69 games played for Dallas. It's 82 games. Figure it out the last 13 games, all right? Come on now. Figure it out. Jason Kidd, throw a jersey on.
Yeah.
Sham, Throw a jersey on if need be.
Jim Jackson is in the arena.
Yeah.
With Jim Jackson in the game, man.
Michael Parsons. Dak Prescott. Go get somebody to finish out these 13 games, man. And that's that. Because I tell you one thing, I know what's on my calendar. April 2nd, when Luka get back to that motherfucker arena in Dallas, it is going to be a fucking zoo in there. Don't talk about your forfeited that motherfucking day. Don't talk about, it's a forfeit when Luka got it.
That would be the day they try to forfeit.
Yeah, April 2nd, do not, because that's been on my calendar since the trade. Do not forfeit on April 2nd. You better figure it out, Nico and Michael Finley. You better figure it the fuck out.
And the player name, when I messed it up, it was not Smart, it's Hardy. Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Nico, so after losing to the Sixers, PJ Washington spoke in a post-game presser saying, at the end of the day, the trade has happened, obviously talking about Luka. All the fire Nico stuff, we're sick and tired of hearing it. We just want to go out there and play. We need the fans to support us no matter who's on the floor. That's just how I feel about it. So Mase, how do you feel about what PJ Washington had to say? Then what do you think their GM situation is going to be? Because
you can't say that, PJ Washington. You can, but it doesn't make sense. Like, people tell me my takes don't make sense. That definitely doesn't make sense. Like, you can't tell people how to feel when you trade off the best player on the team. That makes no sense. If we woke up in Chicago and you said, hey, they traded Michael Jordan, you'll be like, for who? Like, that's how it looks when you say you traded Luka. No matter what you got, and then if that player you bring in get hurt within a week or 2 weeks' time, it definitely looked like a bad trade. Remember, I tell you, you don't have to like what I'm saying, but time will tell you if what I'm saying is true. So as time goes on, it looks like that was the worst decision you could have made. So you can't tell people to get over what you've done. That's called, I'm not calling you narcissistic, but that's one of those things that is a trait of narcissism. Like, you hurt people and then tell them get over it. You can't tell people when they get over stuff that you've done to them.
Well, one thing I do is I actually do that. I might be narcissist because I definitely tell you, get over it and move on. There's no reason to still be sitting here crying about what I did last week. Move on.
I set you up for that because I knew you was going to
yeah, well, thank you, because it's the truth. I can't deal with shit when people be crying. And to me, and I know I have a problem with that. I know I have a problem with that because sometimes people be upset and crying, and I'll be like, "This is not. No, I even died. Like, like, what are you crying for?" And then, but I can't make my shell their shell, like, because
you're right.
And I have a real. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, all jokes aside, I have a real hard time with that. Making my feelings have to be somebody else's feelings. Like, yo, my nigga, okay, I said your mother used to get high. She did. She's better now. She went to Phoenix House. She's a better person. You get over that, man. We was snapping. We both said a bunch of shit that we didn't want to do, that we didn't want to say. And then when shit go left, I'm a bad person, but you don't remember what you told me. Whatever.
Stat, bail him out. Stat.
I don't need no bail.
That's kind of like empathy. He feels how he feels. Like, I can't change that.
I don't need no bail. I'll keep 100. I'm going to trial. Keep me into the trial, nigga. I'm just saying, at least, like, one thing for sure, two things for certain. At least I'm admitting I have a problem. Some people don't like admitting they have a problem. Sin is the number one person that doesn't admit he's having a problem. I don't know why I'm still arguing with Sin, and he's telling me, matter of fact, Murder, he want to speak to you. I'm going to let him speak to you because he's telling me, I'm going to see if he answers. We're going to do a live because he
thinks you tell me stuff when I say the same exact answer.
That's
he
why
said y'all niggas can't think that much alike.
That's why he said it was something that going on. If you pick up now, I'm going to let him do it right now because if I say it on the show, you're going to say, I told you already. If you don't pick up, I'm going to say it anyway. There you go.
Yeah?
Yo, I sound like you in the gym. We got exactly 90 seconds, and we on the air. Ask Murder the question you want that you asked me yesterday about basketball and learning stuff.
And learning.
When we was talking about who invented shit, go ahead. You got 90 seconds. It's got to be quick. We live. Murder's listening. Mase is listening.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Murder. When did you learn the pick and roll? At what age was you?
Had to be like middle school.
So you
Ninth
knew what the
grade?
pick and roll before John Stockton and Karl Malone made it hot?
Yes.
Who
Basics.
taught you that? How would they teach you that?
What? What did you tell him?
I told him Mr. Page taught me in Gauchos at 9 years old.
Yeah,
so he
that's
asked me,
middle
he
school.
said, did Mase play a true? And I said, I played against Mase at 9, 10 super biddies. I don't know if Thurman with them was doing pick and roll, but Mr. Page and Dave and them and
Yeah.
was teaching us pick
That's
and roll.
middle school.
But the nigga, I learned this is super
You should have
biddies.
not gotten to 9th grade and not know pick and roll.
He's talking about it ain't come out to call.
Let me ask you something, because I know how y'all two do. So you mean to tell me he said middle school all by himself?
First of all, I'm be honest with you. I think Mase is bugging because I think it's before middle school. My personal opinion, if you play super biddies at 9, 10, 11 years old, at least in Gauchos and Riverside, they teaching you pick and roll. Young Life was a little more freestyle.
Middle school is seventh grade, sixth
That's
grade.
12
yeah.
years old. But
Yeah,
you was playing when you was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So hold on. You said you learned it at 8 and 9 years old, Cam.
I did.
Yeah, but Young Life was more one-on-one.
Yeah,
So
Mase played with, they just was.
Ain't no pick and roll.
Yeah,
Nigga.
Young
I got
Life,
this nigga.
ice cream, move out
I got
the way.
this nigga.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
One more question. Even though Tex Winters invented the triangle offense, y'all didn't know what it was until Phil Jackson made it hot.
No.
We was doing.
I told him this, Murder. I said, you're right. And the same thing with the pick and roll. John Stockton and Karl Malone made it hot and made it popular. Same thing with Phil Jackson. He made it hot and made it popular. But that don't mean when Tex Winters invented the pick and roll, the triangle offense in 1940 to 1990s or 80s when Phil Jackson was using it, that doesn't mean it wasn't used in between. It just means that Phil Jackson made it popular. Somebody at Texas Arcana could have used it. Nebraska could have used it. Michigan.
What I'm asking you is, how did your coach Page know who invented the pick and roll? How did he know him?
Mr. Page was 100 years old when I was 9, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about, yo?
So they was cool and he told him the secret? How would he know? There was no internet.
I'm done. If Mase, you want to continue this, I just want Mase answered your question. All right.
He said middle school. I think y'all had a conversation, but I'm gonna let it go. Because he wasn't gonna say middle school. You was probably looking at him a funny way, right?
No.
Status right here. Status sitting there looking like she says no. But the fact that you think that John Stockton and Karl Malone invented the pick and roll is preposterous. You have a good evening.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And he's like, I want to speak to Mase. Mase, and you better not tell him nothing when we speak to him. I said, all right, fine if you want, bro. Mase learned to pick and roll before John Stockton and Karl Malone came around, man.
Gotta love talking.
Where does he get this information from? This is crazy. Like, I'm telling them that's like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You should not be in the 9th grade and don't know the pick and roll.
Exactly. You talking about if you ain't see it from John Stockton and Karl Malone, you know. Sin, we actually played basketball, my nigga. Did they perfect it and make it probably the best niggas to ever use it? Yes. But I sent them a clip from 1979 when Dow Dawkins did the shit. He talking about it's sloppy. Yo, it's the pick and roll, bro.
Yeah, he stands on that and never changes his mind either. So it's like you're
arguing
with the wall. Like,
yeah, he doesn't take accountability or nothing.
Oh gosh, y'all. We're gonna go to break. When we return, we will discuss the team who snapped the Cavs' winning streak. Don't go anywhere.
everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.